Hello, everybody. Let's make sure that we are all set up here, starting a bit earlier because I have a meeting I need to go to afterwards. Let me double check my sound settings. Not bad, but not good. Just a few adjustments. How is everybody doing? You are watching Storyteller stream. My name is Jan Dvorak, aka Storyteller, according to the name. And today I'll be going over how to build a OAuth client, and I'll be building for BlueSky and MojeID, which is a Czech provider. So just cover that in just a moment. Great. So there's no noise. All right. As I said, going a bit earlier today than usual because I have to leave early as well. So let's get going. So first of all, let's move this here and let's get started with like an overview of what I'll be doing. So hello everybody who's joining us just now. So first let us take a look at MojeID. MojeID is a Czech verified online provider, through the state and everything. It has like access to the official, a lot of official or government like identification, login and stuff like so. That's pretty huge. It's going to be a bit, I would say, more difficult to implement because if I look here into the documentation, they have like either through SAML or it's through, but this is OpenID Connect. So normally we have gonna go through the regular OAuth, so I'll have to kind of see how that works. Because I'm not sure how OpenID has evolved through the years, so that will be something to see. So let's see. And of course, then from BlueSky, which seems to be a regular auth client. The things that might kind of put us for a loop is, I think, PKCE, if that is required, because I do believe that's something that we are planning to implement in the future. It's currently not in the default Meteor stuff, so that would be something for us to kind of watch over. So yeah, it's required here, so we'll see how that goes and what we can make it to kind of happen. So OAuth 2. So we'll start with BlueSky, and yeah, with the regular setup on that. Okay, and I have an issue with my keyboard apparently. Hopefully. Okay, hopefully that should be solved. I am also still doing a bit of a debugging in the background, so apologies for that. So let me get this sorted out. Right now I need my headphones. Can get rid of that. I have two screens now, so it's I have two screens now, so I should be able to see your comments and everything. Sweet. Okay, so first things first. So we have BlueSky, and what I'm going to do is, let's do this. Let's go to GitHub. Let's see if I have any interesting. Actually, no, I will not be using any template. Instead, I'll be doing Meteor, BlueSky OAuth, or let me double check if I have, or how I have the. Okay, so no, it's Meteor accounts BlueSky. Nothing official here, but we'll kind of get that going. License. This one I'll go with MIT. No. MeteorJS packages for BlueSky. Let's actually, before even that, before I start replicating jobs, let's see. There are no packages right now for this, so I will not be replicating. So that's what we are building here. Create the repository. All the MeteorJS OAuth packages have at least 2 packages, and usually have 3. Once I switch to the full screen, let me actually double check. I don't have anything that I should not have in the background. I can actually kill this. This can move to this screen. Okay. And let's see, I'll be coming from my Discord packages to kind of get into that. Sweet. So that's that one. Let me switch to my open source. Open source one. And let's clone this. Let's start. I'll clone this repository locally. Have it open on my other, and let's get Meteor accounts BlueSky. So I already know what changes I'm going to make. So I guess probably for this, the best thing will be to switch screen sharing to entire screen. There we go. We will not be needing this for a little bit. And here I have my BlueSky. Actually, I'm starting from a Discord already. So that we can use the same structure, which I would highly recommend because that will save you, at least a couple of hours of work. So, and I'm going to open that. So that's Meteor accounts. Okay, Meteor accounts BlueSky. Great. So I have that here in my WebStorm. So we have three packages here. Let's increase font size. Of course, it has to. Okay, this is something I think that needs to be fixed by WebStorm because it's very difficult. But anyway, so we have three packages here. We have the accounts BlueSky, like which is everything together. Can already start. So, I'll rename that once I actually get there and fix it. You have the BlueSky config UI, which is where we'll be starting, and then we have BlueSky OAuth. BlueSky config UI is for Blaze. It's a configuration and display, which allows you to kind of show the login button and all that stuff. Then we have the OAuth, where most of the logic is happening, and then some additional little things here at the main account. We'll get more into that. So we'll start here with the. It's going to be BlueSky config UI, version 1, and it's say for BlueSky OAuth Meteor accounts BlueSky. Okay, so we are already kind of advanced, so I'll just do 2.9. Let me take a look at which version of templating is the latest. So 1.4.4. I can then update probably the BlueSky config UI, or not BlueSky, Discord one. And we'll be having here BlueSky login button and all the other ones here. So that's the package setup. Let's take a look at the HTML. And this is actually what we also need to do to make sure. So first of all, you need to get BlueSky client ID and client secret. Follow these steps. This is where I need to kind of retreat back to our BlueSky and figure out where do we actually get those information. A lot of SDK we actually don't. We do not need an SDK for this. That's actually when you want to post. What we need though is some sort of actually getting these information. So client apps, start a template, that's all nice. Search network with completely open API, so I can build client apps and have access to the same data that the BlueSky app uses. But usually there is some sort of a client ID or not. So it's kind of the basics of service out. There are currently two types of outward at Proto Network: client server out and service to service out. So out client implementation. So this is where things will be potentially a bit different from the regular OAuth, and that's why this makes it a bit interesting. At Proto, at Proto is I think the network name or whatnot. Clients the hard way. Optimistically, most developers will have an SDK available for their programming languages with support OAuth, and they can simply refer to the SDK documentation. That's kind of what we are using here. This guide is intended for early adopters, SDK maintainers, or developers with more sophisticated OAuth needs. It is agnostic to whether developers are building client to work the app.BlueSky microblogging lexicons or implementing novel applications like something like that. The AdProto authentication is the authority document on how to use OAuth with AdProto. If there is the transition, then of course goes back to there. Types of client. We are web service. Out to client type, we are confidential. As we have seen. Okay, OAuth 2. Yes. The thing is, where the heck do I get my client ID? Must exactly match the full URL used to fetch the client metadata JSON itself. Okay, confidential client services include public cryptographic keys in their client metadata, which can be used during an authentication request to verify the client. It is important that such clients be able to remove the public keys from their metadata in the event that the corresponding key is compromised or leaked. Okay. Here's an example of browser app client metadata file that would need to be hosted at client-metadata JSON. Ooh, okay. That makes this very interesting. And this is going to make it super annoying, probably as well. Okay. So this is very different from regular, because regularly what you do is, you kind of sign up on the service like developer platform, and they get you, client ID and your authorization code. So BlueSky is in this will be very different, and this is exactly what we kind of need to make sure that it is in there. So client metadata fields include client ID. Must exactly match the full URL used to fetch the client metadata JSON itself. Okay, so the client ID needs to set up BlueSky, and let's also kind of put in here the name of the protocol. AdProto. So everybody's happy. So no redirects, okay. And that then has to have something like this. Which means I'm also going to start opening on my side here, my literal universe, and I'll start preparing the stuff there as well. So what we need is in public, we'll have on OAuth. Let's quickly check here. And in there, we'll have a JSON, which I'll just call BlueSky.json, which is going to have client_ID. Now this is going to be tricky because of now how the heck do you test this on localhost? That will be interesting. So client ID, I'll just do slash which is simple. Then we have the application type will be web. Client name. I think this is missing, client URI. Okay. And then let's kind of copy the almost everything here with the redirects URI being, this is where we can probably put the local host. So we'll have kind of multiple here also for development. So this saves our bacon a little bit. Hopefully that will be fine. Okay. So what we need to tell the people here is we need to set up a BlueSky client ID and ensure that you have the client information saved in your public folder, preferably under public OAuth BlueSky.json. So I'll just do here code end of code. Okay. Follow these steps. So visit this documentation. I'll put it here. Wait, do we have chapter? That's kind of the closest I can get. So let's do that. And ensure that your meta data for client information is created in your public folder. Set authorization redirect to this. OAuth and our Discord is going to be BlueSky. And then what we'll have is oh wow. Now I'll have to kind of check again into another one because there was a. Well, first of all, let's actually rename this to BlueSky configure, so we know we are working on this. Let's also quickly refactor here the login button, which is a base 64. So we'll have to change this into a BlueSky image. So let's just do a quick sidetrack. BlueSky logo base 64. Okay, icon body to the rescue, base 64. Oh, dude. Okay. I'll just put this here. Okay, that's CSS. So in the configure what we want, score that will be BlueSky. So here we have login service dialog for BlueSky. BlueSky. So we have here just client ID. And I need to check with some other let's see, I think line is going to have this. Oh no, it doesn't. Line, so even line doesn't have. Is the one I have that doesn't have that. Okay. Let me check it now. Defunct Wattpad. We had it. I'm not 100% sure. Huh. Okay, we will have to see, because I think the client ID is the. Okay, so that's what's going to be here. I think there might, we'll have to kind of do a test app where we put this in to make sure that it's there. Your client ID is the location of the client information JSON. If you followed the example above, it will be code site or law or out BlueSky.json. So that's, I think, it for the configuration file, and I do believe that then here the configure login service dialog for BlueSky, it then has here the client ID. It will create like input field, and that will then allow it to be entered into the database. But you can, and this is where what I will be doing is I will be putting that via my settings. So let's take a look. Accounts. BlueSky. And there we go. Only going from version 2.9 just to make sure. And here it will be BlueSky OAuth on version 1. Here is the optional account UI. And we'll put this in. So with that, we have this package ready. Let's look here at, this is the main, this is kind of where it begins. So first of all, with accounts, we need to register this service, which will be BlueSky. And on client, we'll be adding a login with BlueSky. This is kind of a bit of a, just services. Okay, so one step at a time. So login with BlueSky. That's this. We'll get back options and then callback, and then we have kind of handler here that will kind of handle the that will handle how to deal with what we get back from the service. And we need to set these up because there can be many more services, so it kind of goes through them, and this will make sure that it gets into the correct service or correct handler. Now, for our logged in users, we kind of need to make sure which fields will be published or available. So this is all now BlueSky. I don't foresee this to be any changes. Let's quickly check notice. Accounts UI, BlueSky. Discord, no, BlueSky config. So you're using accounts UI and accounts BlueSky, but didn't install the configuration UI for BlueSky OAuth. You can install it with this. So this is kind of, again, throwback to Blaze. This is that. So if you have actually accounts UI installed, then it will prompt you to install this BlueSky config UI as well, so that you get the benefits of that. And that brings us to our main show. First things first, renaming. Make your account BlueSky, and this is all already correct, but we have here the namespace, and we'll be renaming these. So let's start with the namespace. Again, that's something that will probably go away in the future, hopefully, and it will just be in named export. This is for the older version of Meteor. I have to double check, so I can potentially remove it for, like, Meteor 3 and above, because I don't think that's needed. All right, so anything that will start is on the get the BlueSky from namespace. It starts on client. So first we'll request the credentials. These are kind of the basic functions that already exist. We have to make sure this is once they are saved. So if you remember in the UI how we have put in the input field, then this whatever it gets saved there is going to put in database into the service configuration, and that will be available upon request up here on the client. So we'll check here in the config if everything we have passed in, or if we don't have config, that will kind of go back to the defaults. Here's some token generation. We'll have to see if we actually need that. And then we have here the login style. It will then open up. It will then call. It will open up. Here is the login link, and then here it will launch the launch login. So that's kind of the pop-up window that you see, and all these things will be adjusting as needed. And here we have all the other things. Here's the redirect link generated based on your current domain, and going to Discord with any additional configs. And let's see. I think things like scope and everything is in the is over here. So here we have response types code. We have the scope here. So that might not be necessary there. So so let's see. We have client name, we have client URI. Then we can add logo, TOS, and policy. So that will be something I will be adding eventually, coming back to this file. So so PKCE, all clients must implement PKCE. Yikes! So that will be a problem for us. In return, this means creating a unique random value at the start of the session, including a challenge code derived from this value during the authentication request, verifying the value during the first token request. Yikes! So this will be a problem, as we don't have an official implementation of PKCE. And for this, I would like to come on with Jan Kuster, who is building or like has a open source node version for, and Meteor as well, for OAuth services. And what is this? Gonna say the code, and then you verify that it's the correct one as it comes back, so there isn't any, say, man in the middle attacks potentially and other things. So this might be a deal breaker for us. We'll have, and there's JWT. Okay, so there's a lot of additional security that has not been really upgraded in Meteor. We'll have to kind of go in and test it, because with JSON Web Tokens, that's what Line does, and I have implemented that in the past, so I'll have to see. So token management. So here we go to the meat of stuff. What I want, and which is missing here, is where the heck do I send the people to? Where should the authentication be open to? Authorization request. The client next makes push other sign requests via HTTP post. No, that's afterwards. So first we need, clients can start outflow in two ways, starting with @proto account handler or ID, starting with the server instead of a account header is when the user does not remember their full account handle or he knows their account email. Yeah, this is what I hate about, I would say this is not properly written documentation, because it makes a lot of assumptions and does not include really any examples. Let's see, maybe if over here. Okay, yeah, so this is almost what I have been looking for. No. See any tutorials? So BlueSky posts are lexicon type. Okay, so again, this requires you that you have the API, but that's like, for actually manipulating for logging with this is, let's see, maybe if I go here to this at Proto, it will tell me a bit better. Okay, we've covered this. Oh, localhost client development. When working with Dublin environment, it might be good for developers to publish impersonate data at a public URLs so that user can access. This might be even true for development and when using containerization to make the work easier. A special exception is made for clients with client ID having origin at localhost with no port number specified. No port number specified. That's very specific because we do have a port number. So let's leave. In a localhost client ID scenario, the authorization server should verify that the scheme is HTTP, yes, and that the host name is exactly localhost with no port specified. IP address are not supported. Path parameter must be empty. That is really not making it easier because majority of localhost clients testing will have ports. So some data fields can be configured via query parameter client ID via prototypical encoding. So you can put things in. So that is, I'm not sure how to really think about that. Yes. So what we've seen, and I'm kind of curious. Authorization interface. I am looking authorization server. Must implement web interface for users to integrate with the server, approve or reject authorization requests for clients, and manage active sessions. This is called authorization interfaces. So that's what BlueSky has to implement. So it's kind of like their own. But it does have like a very specific address that I need to call, and that's missing. Unless I'm missing something, overlooking something big. So BSky developer portal. I don't want guidelines. I want the developer portal. Why is that? Custom feed? No, I want to do. Let's look at their starter templates, client apps. Okay, let's just go to the surveys, And let's see their community showcase. Close SMS service, Bluestream, Fedica, Twitter to just client. Okay, that will be probably just the different clients and open source. Wait, BlueOuth, custom BlueSky OAuth system. Let's take a look on that one. That might have be, it's PHP. Okay, so it's not working. Live demo. API out. Sky local API handle. Login passport, new client. Again, but again, it's using the social web Proto API client. Get outer feed. Client.login. That's not satisfactory. What we need, but it also means that we need to look at their official. Actually, references not. So we need to find their BlueSky agent. Social app. Or SDK to be more. Not SDK, no. Okay, here we have this TypeScript stuff. Let's see. Yes, I can make it a bit like this. APIs for Proto and BlueSky, validation, complete TypeScript, session management, rich text library. So yeah, agent. We'll go to that specific service. Okay, I can create an account there. Resume session. Proto OAuth client browser. Okay, this is what we are talking about. This package provides a browser-specific OAuth client implementation for Proto. It implements the OAuth features required by Proto. So that's, wait. Okay, it's a monorepo that would explain that. So it actually should not be that super complex that we shouldn't be able to take it away, given also because you're implementing it in our own place. They will have a lot of extra stuff here because they are just handling it, I think, in a way that they are assuming that this is a just client only. Apologies. So let's see, because what I want to see really right now at this point in time is the browser implements disposable. Okay, this is getting close to. Here we go. Pop-up feature width, height, and so on. Sign and pop-up. This does authorize on line 274. Or is it? No. OAuth client. So there is the redirect. And then we have the PKCE. We have the client ID as we set it. We have the redirect. Then there's the code challenge. That's one thing that's still missing in Meteor, like by default. So that's something that we want to make sure of. And at the end, it generates authorization, which comes from here, metadata authorization endpoint, which metadata is from this auth resolver resolve input together. So it's not an easy as I was hoping for, which would, or like at least not direct one that makes it easy for everybody to resolve. So because normally you would just get just go to this link, make sure you put in all the necessary parameters, and you will be fine. Okay, this auth resolver, which is coming from over here. Okay, so it will looks like what will need to happen then is that we will have to implement this client one node as well here for node. Oh, and here's actually just OAuth client itself. So let's see what the OAuth client tells us. My backend response type query, blah, blah, blah. My app. Authorize and yeah, so this is because this is exactly make user visit URL. Then once it's redirected to callback URL, perform the following. So this is what we kind of need to put in. So now that I'm looking at this and thinking about this, this might be a bit of yes. So we'll have to use this. So this will kind of go more closer to my. Let's see. Wait a moment. This is kind of strange. Why do I have to define this again? Okay, they have the Joe's key here. We have the express, but this is kind of handled through. Yeah, we have the callback. This part, for example, is handled. Like getting the params, all that stuff is handled by Meteor, and we just get back in, the params and information, and then we kind of do this part. Agent session. So in this case, using this SDK, that's a bit easier. Wait, worker. Where are we in a store user session? Okay. So that one is fine, but we just need to use their SDK because they did not make it simple. Which is a pity because that's exactly not what I have time for, and we'll have probably a bit of an issue with the PKCE as well. So that's something that I will have to revisit. Probably with Jan Kuster, and we'll probably do this, and then we'll together do a implementation into Meteor OAuth as well. This for PKCE. To make sure that everything is kind of in there and that other clients can take advantage of it as well. So that's something I will have to revisit. In the future. So yes, let me then not letter universe. That's something I can delete for right now before we figure out how this is going to go. But yeah, we have this ready. I think I have to see, but I think from the client side one, we will be able to do. This is kind of where we have to stop. So this is where we have to kind of stop with the BlueSky one, because I want to take a look at the MojeID as well, which is going to probably be even more challenging. But Before I go, let's quickly look here on the server, remove that. And there's already some other things which will be, of course, removed and replaced with the correct one once we get there. Just did some initial. We already have a lot from Meteor. That's the thing. So that will come in the future. So this will be starting formation from Discord template. And of course, the git config is busted. That's on my side. Just let me just quickly fix that here. Okay. So that should do it. I'll push this up for you guys to enjoy, or that you can kind of continue to work from. If anybody wants to kind of give this more of a beyond what I did, I will continue on this in the future. That said, I'll take a quick break here, but before that, we'll be starting with MojeID next. Right now, I'll put it on private because I don't think I will really get anywhere, and this might require potential. Oops, and I didn't even do the proper setup with README and all that stuff. So yeah, that will be with this. I think it will be very much a long-term project that will require quite a lot of, how should I say it, a bit more work to put it mildly. Will not be an easy one. But as promised, a quick bathroom break. And I shall be back in a moment as we continue this exploring MojeID, which is going to be a challenge, but we shall see. So see you in 5 minutes or less. All right, and I am back. How is everybody going? So, halfway through, sadly, today I have a very hard cutoff. Surprise, I'll be socializing later today. Just a little bit. So let us take a look on our second attempt. We'll probably not get it fully working, or we'll see how far we can go with this one, because this one is for me much more interesting than BlueSky, because it could be it opens up pretty much for all the citizens of Czechia to very easily log in if they have set up their any login with the state identities. So it's not mission critical for me to get it in the Trainiverse, but would be great. You can also kind of see in general like the state of the Czech internet if they have like only PHP examples, and of course Android and iOS. That's one, but beyond that only WordPress, Drupal, Magento, OpenCart, Moodle, Django, and general PHP. So first things first, what I want to do, we have the MojeID account established, but I want to go and, since I am also already in the code base, they said it was implemented pomocí together with, where was it? Where was it? Oh, well, the good thing is I can probably then get in on this list, but there, yeah, OpenID Connect. So I want to see if we have OpenID. Not here. OpenID. Yes, Switch here has great OpenID Connect for Meteor accounts, Flow for Meteor. So it's a Switch, guys. There is some older ones. So let's take a look on this one, because I think this is kind of where we're going. 2019, so relatively recent. Meteor login with OpenID Connect. And login style, redirect link, client ID, OIC, client identifier, secret, server. So in theory, I don't actually have to build anything, because it's already, I can use this this package. So we'll have to test this. Now the problem with that is it only allows you, if you have like an OpenID multiple ones, that could be a problem. So it might be in that regard better for me to just see kind of what they have when it comes to the code, and just hard code the MojeID in there. So switch OpenID Connect. Account account. So let's see, like, so I'm going to log into services for OpenID Connect. These options override service communication stored in the database. Yes, manual configuration setup. That's also something I can also probably improve. That it's, I know that's already, never mind. The settings, if you put it in the settings file, it will automatically get put into the database. The thing here, though, looking at this, is that underscore, which I'm not happy about. And potentially I'm having the CSS here I'm not happy about. Why is that? Why are they here? That makes, I think it's trying to kind of merge two things together. Or is it? No, it's not an artifact. It doesn't have templating here, so it's it doesn't have the config UI, so I think that's kind of an artifact from the config UI that should not really be in that package. That should be basic. Okay, so it's 6 years old though. What? Oh yeah, 2019. But still, for this, that should be. There are a few other ones. I just want to quickly check. 2019, 2021. Okay. Sorry. So it's 1.15, 12. So I think it's kind of continuing from that. So that's definitely something that I want to have. 1.1, 2022. 1.8 and then 1.1. Have to double check. Oh, no GitHub here. Come on, guys. That's just silly. This one has it. It has also reference here to the official documentation on how OpenID works. So looks it 3 years ago. So it looks like the most up-to-date version. It definitely goes from the switch one here. Doesn't say so, which let me just quickly jump here. Yeah, it says it's from the switch one. It's forked. So this is probably the. You can probably also check here in the insights on the network to see which one is the latest version that we can get out of. Looks like the Seluxit so far is the winner. I have a typo there, but that's fine. So let's quickly check here. Okay, so here this is the should be the Blaze package. Yeah, so this is the Blaze package. And then they have accounts OIDC, which So not really something that and it's missing the third package, which is kind of like this. So it merged those two into one. But it still have the CSS here, even though that should be in the config one. No, it's still missing something. Here it does the. This is the client one, and oh, what a mess! Come on, guys. Yeah, so it merged, what normally have 3 packages into 2, and oh my God, no. That's use underscore where, for just extend, which you don't need. All right. Let's untangle this mess. Good thing is that we found this, that we can start from this. And hopefully we can make some sense of this. And if I make this correct, then it should be super easy then to deploy the same thing for any other similar OpenID services. So first of all, let's, guys, we need to follow the established patterns. So we have accounts, MojeID. It's kind of the big one there. Then we have MojeID config UI. And then we have MojeID OAuth. So let's see, I'll just start with here account, oops, ID, just quick copy. Thing is, so this was the simpler one. Your accounts, MojeID. Just a quick rewrite here. And then we can check here. So both will be MojeID. Login with MojeID. Let's have it like that. And we can apply that here. We want to always have the name, without any spaces, without any capital, so there can be no mistake in it. But log in with my ID like this, that's fine. What I want to see now from our over here, configuration, if they have something special. So no. Let's see. Is there going to be no? It's not. It's not supposed to be on the server. And I think this might be where they kind of splitting in the accounts. That's where the login with is. Yes. Register services. So we have the ID instead of username. And yeah, I can log in with OICD, request credential, callback. So this is identical. Though here is not sure whether OICD API can be used from the browser. Not sure if we should be sending access token. We do it for all the other OAuth providers, and it might come in handy. Well, for logged in user, this is meaning like that's kind of for your own stuff, so it'd be fine. Yeah, I think so. This one then is here over here is fine and ready to go. Ta-da! So okay, 1/3 done. Probably not really. Maybe like 1/5. We have only half an hour to go, so let's jump on the config UI. So kind of copying it. Not BlueSky, but MojeID. Let's just rename everything first. And this will be, this is something actually, since we already saw that multiple times, the freaking button. Right now, we'll just take it. Wait, actually, let's see. MojeID logo base 64. If we have something. No, we don't. So let's not waste our time looking this up. Instead, I'll just grab what we have here and paste it. Image. Again, I don't want to spend too much time so on it yet. That will be kind of in the post-production for me to kind of get all these little details ironed out. MojeID. Okay, so that should be it for the description. And now we go to the most important package. Wait, I should probably also change the readmes. Accounts, MojeID accounts, MojeID. I don't know about this, so just leave it as is, and again, fill in later. Or MojeID and just blanking here. That's the OpenID Connect. Too many IDs. ID, OpenID Connect. Support for Moje ID. Okay. So now with all of that, let's jump here for the last package. MojeID OpenID connect flow scored MojeID. Okay. MojeID it's OAuth, but it's not. That's I have to. So I have to OpenID OIDC. That's OIDC. That's the so MojeID OpenID connect flow. And for the namespace, we'll do MojeID like that. I think that's what I need to. Where was it? Yes, here. MojeID. And of course, we go here, and that will be the namespace. Very strange namespace thing. Now, there we go. So we have, yeah, we'll have to again go back a little bit for the configure, HTML and JavaScript. Okay, the HTML is not worthy, but yes, we really need this part. This is the part that will be, I completely forgot. Just like this. So the server, client server, OICD server URL, that's not what will be, that's actually what will be hard coding. The same thing with the endpoints. So these ID token. So I'm not sure about these yet. So that's there, and with your provider, and you'll need to set up and set up. Just put here the 3 dots, and this is actually something that I'll start filling in. OAuth MojeID as we get going. Visit. So this will come as I do all of the other stuff. But before we go there, I want to course, start working on we have here the client and server. So JavaScript. So MojeID client. And there's like one thing, oh, why don't you do TypeScript? Again, this is more for help, I would say, with the people using this, so that we give them, because they might not have TypeScript, so I don't want to again impose an additional dependency. So that's kind of basic, I would say, for me at least, basic package design. That, again, do not introduce new dependencies for the user, or at least as less as possible. So, okay. So it does all its thing. I think really we have to do a bit of a cleanup here and there. Have lets but in this case it's client, so we can have var. Should be fine, but we can then use probably some new already existing API like your URL and other things, but this will suffice. The only thing that I need to find here is find one service that will be MojeID. Service MojeID not configured. That's it. Так, OAuth redirect MojeID. And I think, wait, so we can actually limit that so we can see better. Login service, MojeID. Okay. And this needs to be MojeID. And as I said, these four are not needed. Launch login. And the login URL config.server plus authorization endpoint. This is one that we need to instead have HTTPS. Gonna put this here as old, and that's going to be some MojeID link. So that case of the serial authorized endpoint and token endpoints and user info endpoints will be again something that we'll get from MojeID documentation. So that was the client. Let's get the server here ready as well. MojeID server. And can quickly change the basics. OpenID Connect. Let's take a look actually from the beginning. I want to make sure redirect MojeID. confirm MojeID, handshake with there. What else? Services, MojeID. MojeID not configured. And last one over here. And we can do the console debug. And this needs to be object.extend. Which, okay. Again, no underscore. I don't want to see underscore here at all. Oh, HTTP. Yikes, that's ancient. No longer use, we use fetch. So that will be something that I will have to rewrite as well. And we can use again new stuff. Not sure if we should be using OAuth version 2, but like this, but I think it's fine. So debug is false here. I think that's something that we can kind of put up here. Instead of in the functions themselves. That's a, again, stylistic choice. Might be that you want just to debug in specific functions, but that's not something I will be looking into today. Given also what I've saw, oh my God, only 15 minutes left. So let's take the next step and with your check just in case that they have different things. So implementing via OpenID Connect. It's going to be a bit difficult because at least so that I'll have to probably do an addendum, which will be put through the week. I'd like to do some crazy registration, but let's see. We have the overview, but so we have the client registration. With MojeID, we OpenID Connect and set register a client service at the MojeID server. It's possible to use either manual or automatic registration. Authorization is suitable for dynamically created clients. Okay. And manual registration is suitable for server clients. So let's do manual. So it's going to be done at, so this is what we want. Let me check my password for this. Just a quick aside. And I will have to go to my phone application. Come on. We actually need to find where I have this application. Yes, confirm. Confirm. I think this is actually it. Yes. Customer admin. And a new create over here. So when we go to our continue, visit this page. and create a new service dot. So we'll have the JWS algorithms. Okay, so this is going to be, this is all the things that we have to tell the user what to put in there. But it's not required, so HTTP localhost like that, and we use the OAuth MojeID. How do you want to have it like that? Just in case we ever have our staging back. Okay. Then we have all the other things requested. Let's save this. Sektor 5 musí být nastaven sector. Where do we have that? Okay, so there's like some additional thing here that I have no clue about. So I'll just do this. And yeah, then we have our client ID. Actually, let me change this. Let me inverse localhost. So probably not the best to show it on ID like this. Okay, I have the secret there, so at least that is not out, but you can imagine this ID, yeah, doesn't matter because that will not be for production, and I will be removing this after we are done with that. Okay, so this is the bare minimum. Again, this will have to be extended to have everything. Let's get back to here. So we have pretty much this automatic registration. We don't care for. Great. Then we go requesting login via MojeID. And then login with my ID website, ensure login my ID button, blah, blah, blah. Send me enter later my sir login ID using button assignment and correct method. Yes. Yes. Okay, initialization. To be able to send an identity authentication request, your library needs to know either the user identifier or the OCP endpoint. The application will use identifier endpoint to send web finger query to retrieve details about OpenID. Connect provider response to this query includes, among other things. So this is actually the token and username thing that we've seen there. But I am a bit distraught again that it didn't tell us what URL it should be calling. Could it be this? So I think that might be it. It might be calling this and YCD and the authorization endpoint. That's what we need here right now. Authorization. Okay. Oh, so here it is. Here it is. That is the full authorization. And then we add in everything else. Now we need to find also the token endpoint. Wait, what? That should be, oh, that's, sorry, that's on the server. As we can see here, server token endpoint is this. And then we have the user info. Let's just see. Okay, config user info. No. We already have, okay. So in this case, we actually don't, we don't need this else or the if. Get user info from endpoint, because the endpoint we have like that. So we are almost have this thing, and this is sad. I don't have time to really test this, because that will be at least another half an hour of debugging and testing, and I need to run. That makes me sad. So, but we have everything here. So, and then we have if anything else is available here as well. So we're scoping and all those other things. And we have performing authentication. This is how it's going to look then. And it's going to have respond. And I think all of that, since it's OpenID, is already set there. So what I'm thinking also is that I'm going to, when I have another chance, I'm going to upgrade all the other things like the old HTTP calls. There's no fetch. And I'm going to update it and make it so that it's very easy to copy for other OpenID providers. And the only thing you change there will be like a list of constants, specifically the addresses. And then it will be, yeah, and then you can just, there's some library here, but we don't need that. And then you can just use that for all the other OpenID OAuth, so you can super easily, super quickly make your own. That is the plan. I'll keep this open for reference. Let's put that in. Should work. So sorry I didn't get anything working. A lot of preliminary work. If I didn't decide to go to the meeting I have today, then I would have at least finished OpenID. So that's on me. But don't worry, I will actually I do plan with MojeID. Oof. Well, given that I'm already using an established MIT setup, I'm going to change this to public. Let me do that. So it's available publicly. I should probably move over the GitHub stuff as well. Let me just adjust the funding. Speaking of funding, I'll just stick with GitHub here. And let's find myself. If you like what I do, would like to sponsor me so that I can actually stick around and finish everything properly, then please go to GitHub/sponsors/Storyteller CZ, and I have various options and packages available. I do plan to also in the near future to kind of look it over, change things, and improve things depending on how everything else is going in my life. So that's that. There we go. All stuff here. We won't have any deployments here yet. So in summary, let's see, we started with BlueSky. That one has quite I would say even a little bit hostile approach. Requires you to really dig deep into it, and it's kind of its own thing. Not really, as far as I've not as straightforward as I hoped. In a way, also, kind of looking at that and just my general feeling about BlueSky and all that stuff, they're kind of like their own thing. And if you don't, are like not fully in, then it's not welcoming that much. For MojeID, surprisingly, pleasantly surprised that it's using OpenID Connect, which made it super easier to get it set up. If I actually use the old HTTP package, I would be able to, I would say pretty sure, run it and get it working. But I want to make it justice, so I will be upgrading all of that to fetch and async and all the other modern improvements that it needs. So that will be coming in another episode. I think I will probably do a maybe I'll add one extra outside of my regular programming, or it will be on Monday. So that will be, and the theme there will be upgrading old packages from that. So we'll see how that goes. And so again, that's it for me today. So yeah, Alim just came in, enjoying the US president inauguration. No worries, you haven't actually missed much. I was doing exploration again, kind of big summary for everybody during at this late hour. Big exploration into BlueSky. That one came out to be much more complicated than initially thought. So kind of once you're outside of their network, if you're not updating everything, then it's a bit more annoying. But I think I found for the future a potential solution using their SDKs and all that stuff. So it might be possible. Not sure how much practical it is though. So I will be skipping on implementing BlueSky for the near future until there is a, say, customer request for it. With MojeID, that one was not a surprise using a OpenID Connect for connection. So I found a old library that uses kind of in general OpenID, and I am, could say, hard coding the values there. That's pretty much almost done, but it still needs to be upgraded, the entire package, because use HTTP now we are using fetch. It's now we are async, so all of those things need to be upgraded. So that will be in the next episode. Okay, for the BlueSky. Yes, for login, the spec is open. That's not the issue. The problem is that unless I think you're kind of getting into all of their ecosystem with all the federated stuff, then just getting the login like an OAuth style did not prove to be as straightforward as I wanted to. So pretty much you just need to fall back on their SDK for the for the federated what is it called, some for their chain. So that's for the federation thing. So that's kind of one thing, and big thing also part of for our OAuth flow. Again, how they have the documentation is very much like for everybody, which means it's very non-specific in the things I needed to be specific. So that was quite a pain, and I lost a lot of time. So similar like with here with the OpenID Connect, what I originally found here is there is like a login for OpenID Connect where you put in the server and everything, so I could use that if I wanted to. But again, I'm doing a specific for a specific thing, because then I can only have one OpenID server, which in the future I might want to have multiple options. So I'm creating here with MojeID a connect or a connector that is hard coded with those value. And once I finish upgrading it technologically wise, you can just pretty much then there will be a could say constants file or something like that, where will be the links or the endpoints defined, and that will be the, so then you can just clone this package, change the endpoints, change all references to MojeID to whatever else you have, and you will be ready to go, which is the beauty of OpenID Connect and OAuth as well. So that's that. And last thing, kind of back to BlueSky, it also has some additional requirements that we don't have yet in the OAuth protocol in Meteor. And Jan Kuster has brought this up in the past, and we need to get going. So anyway, my bus runs, so I have 3 minutes to catch the bus. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, again, you can sponsor me on GitHub, and I will see you on Monday, where I will continue this. Thank you very much. For Americans, enjoy the inauguration, and I will all catch you later.